Gas that shit in there.
From the 757 to the 713, where you know we stay whipping through the streets. Some will call it swinging bang, some will call it slow ride. I just call it cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the.
Yo, welcome to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Tuesday, April 14th. What? Oh, wow, it is April 14th. How's everybody doing today for Shizay My Nizzays? First, what we're going to be, not going to lie to you guys, this podcast is probably, going to be kind of a little downer. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little downer. Just please, bear with me. I just, yeah, we're here. We're here. We're ready and we're doing. I know it's been a week, so I do apologize for that. But this podcast, we are talking about this documentary that I watched a few weeks ago. I think it's been weeks. The Scream murders. It's actually like a real true crime. I don't know what it is. I've been watching some true crime stuff lately, so it's just please bear with me. Also, we're gonna talk about pretty much the season of Shrinking. And then also, oh crap, I completely forgot my life. Oh, and I got to watch my one and only pissed off movie this year. Probably a movie I'll never go back to, which is Birth of a Nation. Yeah. It is now in the list of movies that is banned from the cruising from Andrew Cruz's watch list, and you'll know why here. If you know, you know. But yeah, I can't watch that anymore. Not because it's a bad movie, by the way. Yeah, just putting it out there. So, where you can find the Cruising Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find podcast needs. As where you find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find the latest updates of the show. It's on Instagram at Cruising Podcast. Also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. Hey, yo, what's up, you? What's up, hoes? What's up, hoes? This might be. It's probably going to, I always say this sometimes, but this is probably going to be a very short podcast. I was supposed to go to bed a while. I'm not a while ago, but I was supposed to be in bed by now. But it is what it is. Because your boy got to get in that gym tomorrow. Got to get some work in. But I was sitting around watching this, looking for something to watch, and I seen this thing called the Scream Murders. The Scream Murders. High school. I forgot what was the whole name of it, but it's called So I watched this video on YouTube because YouTube likes to do this. Watch this video on YouTube of these two guys like planning to murder their classmates, and you think nothing of it. You think it's like a found footage thing or a found footage film, and they show them going to the person's house, and then right after they went to their friend's house after they murdered them. And they were talking about, oh man, we just killed her, this, that, and the third. And so I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I'm just like, is this real? Like, why does YouTube have this out there? And you read the comments and be like, this is a real story. Rest in peace to Cassie. That was the girl's name. And you're sitting here, you're watching, you're just like, oh my God, they really posted this on YouTube. This is a few years ago. I used to watch some really diabolical shit on the internet. If I'm being honest, if I'm being honest, I used to watch some weird shit. I ain't gonna lie. Not like, not illegal. Well, kind of illegal, but yeah, I think it's past statute of limitation that I can say I watched some weird shit on there, man. Let's be real. We've all went into the deep dark web and seen some horrific shit. So I'm not gonna say what I watched. Let's just say the David Pearl video has definitely been imprinted in my mind, and I will. I didn't know. I did not have the stomach for shit like this. It was very, very, very fucked up. But we watched this video, and it was circulating around the web. So nothing really came of it. I never really dove into it. Like things like normally I would dive into like the JFK shooting or something like that, but I didn't really dive into this case. And then all of a sudden I was just, scrolling and I was like, oh, they got this documentary Scream Murder. Okay, let's check it out. And I don't know why I get into these true crime. I get into a mode where I have to watch these true crime documentaries. Please do not judge me. I have to watch them. Okay, just please don't judge me. But they showed the two guys. I forgot their names. I ain't gonna. And also I don't want to remember their names because they're disgusting human fucking beings. They and sorry for cursing early in the podcast, but it's just what happens. These two guys are sitting here and they're you see them planning a murder. Like they're literally premeditating this murder. And it clearly happens. They're talking about, man, we have to we have to do this. Like we apparently one of them thought they were writing them, like the defense of them was, one of them was, I was writing a movie script. We were into movies. We're into scary movies, and we just wanted to like pretty much enact the scary movie. Like the one dude, you can see him writing down the whole time, but they're sitting here saying, "Yo, Cassie, you have to die. It's just your time," or whatever like that. Pretty much, like these guys just wanted to feel what murder felt like as I won't even say as kids. These guys were in high school. I'm sorry. Yes, they're kids technically, but like they made a grown ass decision, and so apparently they taped premeditated everything. They talked about this. They did you can see them doing their homework. They're in like study hall doing this shit, and then how they played it all out. You know what I'm saying? They went, did what they did, and then went to a movie. And you're sitting here, you're just watching. It's just like, well, okay, you bought a movie ticket at the time 5 minutes after you did the murder. It was like you were a kid, y'all planned it out, but you didn't plan it out. It was very weird. And I think the weirdest part of this documentary is the parents. Some of the parents. The mom of one of them, I understand he's your child and you feel like, you want him out, you want to be able to touch him, all the rest of that, like hug him, all that shit. To me, I'm a realist. I don't want a fucking psychopath out there in the world. I don't care if it came from me or not. When they sat there and said, well, they were kids when they committed this murder. Well, that girl is still a child. And she's never going to be an adult. She lost her life. No matter what. To me, they should... I'm sorry, but the horrific way that she was killed was just, it was like the way they described it was just horrifying. And if someone was to tell me like, hey man, you think they should get out of jail? Fuck no. Hell no. I think they got life without the possibility of parole, which is great. And I think it was I truly think they deserve it. I'm sorry. I don't think they should get out of jail. I think those two feel remorse. Absolutely. They absolutely feel remorse. And yeah, completely. But you still did it. You still took a life. You still made a final decision. Death is final. That's a final thing. And for me, they should never come out of jail. And for parents to try to even sit there and say they were kids at the time, it bothers me because now it shows me that y'all really were hands off in the parenting department. I'm not a parent. Don't get it twisted. I'm not one. But I feel like that's a hands off way of saying some shit. And I understand, like I said, the love of a parent between their children, completely understand. But when your child's a fucking psychopath and has shown to have psychopath tendencies, nah, homie, they gotta stay in jail. That was the main part that was pissing me off throughout the whole documentary. Like the last episode was really these parents trying to appeal to, I guess, our heartstrings, but they murdered someone, premeditated it, and videotaped it. And the crazy part is, I think the murder is videotaped, but the police department never put that tape out. Because those guys. So what they did was at the end of it. I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil it for a little bit. I won't spoil it, but one of them, or no, they buried their clothes and the videotapes. They buried it in the hills, and one of them like confessed confessed about everything and pointed out where everything was. And you're sitting here, you're watching, you're just like, wow, these guys really did not plan this out right. One of them definitely, you can tell once you start watching the video a little bit, once you start watching some of their videos, like one of them was I wouldn't say smart enough, but I will say one of them was a little too calm for me for after murdering a person. Um, and he never said, and I will admit this, if I was defending him too, he never admitted to killing her. He might be an accomplice, but one of them, the other guy was just like, man, I killed her. That's what he said. I killed her. I can't believe we just did that. I can't believe I just did that. I'm pretty sure if I was watching the video right, he said I a lot. So to me, this was a horrible event that happened. The reason why I'm talking about it is because motherfucker, I will never say that they deserve to get out of jail. They murdered somebody, and it wasn't even like just a murder. Like they practically almost you know what I mean, they did a lot. And yeah, if it's not just they, or is it both, or one of them, I don't give a fuck. One of them could have stopped the other. That's how I feel about it. And that I really think that it's horrible. And rest in peace to Cassie. She should never have to lose her life senselessly because of these two dickheads. That's the two dickheads for sure. I'm glad they're in jail. I'm glad that they got the life without the possibility of parole. Good, deservingly so. Please put them under the jail if you could. That's just where I'm at with everything. So that is the Scream murders. I watched all 3 episodes of that, and I was just like, fuck, man, that shit. It's sad, man. It really is sad once you watch it, and it's just like, you know, you killed probably a beautiful soul for no fucking reason. So continuing on. I'm gonna it's gonna be a shit sandwich. I'm gonna say some good shit here now, and then some a little bit lighthearted. I watched Shrinking. I 11 episodes. It's weird that it was 11 episodes. I know that was a pretty bad transition. I have no transition for that sadness. I'm sorry. It just what I wasn't ready for it to be 11 episodes. I never heard of a series being 11 episodes. This was supposed to be the last season. They only had a 3-season arc for this show. Apparently, there's a renewal for season 4. Deservingly so. I really think Apple TV, we need to stop talking about like Netflix all the time. Apple TV has some of the best television out right now. I'm putting their hat in the ring. Shrinking is one of the funniest fucking shows I've seen in a long time. I love it. Jason Segel. I think it's Segel. Yeah, I think it's Jason Segel. Amazing, because of course Jason Sudeikis is fucking Ted Lasso. So we got Jason Segel as Ted, as Jimmy. I'm sorry, as Jimmy. And the ensemble for this show, they did a really good job with that. Everyone is funny. Everyone has their moment of funniness. But Harrison Ford playing a guy with Parkinson's and pretty much a crotchety old man. I think I've said this before. Him playing a grumpy, crotchety old man is possibly his best acting ever. Because if you guys have not seen like some of the things Harrison Ford has done, the dude is cool. He's actually he actually seems like one of the nicest people ever. But he's also what people have said, what I've heard of for a long time. He's high a lot. And I think where I really became a big fan of his was the David Blaine. When David Blaine did that magic trick and he told him to get the fuck out of my house. Shit was funny as hell. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Continuing on. So the show is pretty much an office. Damn, it's not even really an office comedy, huh? It's shit. It's not. I'm trying to think what you can say it is. I don't think it is an office comedy. It started. I think it started out as one, but I would say this: Bill Lawrence knows how to put a fucking show together. Knows how to put comedy together. And I like I said, I love this show. I love it. I think I really think out there it's one of the best comedies in the past 10 years. And it's like Ted Lasso and then Shrinking. And I really don't think really don't think there's a second. There's a third. I mean, I think it's a really wide margin between the second and third, to tell you the truth. And it's crazy that both of these came from Apple TV. Hold on, I'm trying to get the cast together. Because these motherfuckers are funny as shit. And the addition of Damon Wayans Jr. Is that Damon Wayans Jr.? Yeah, right. That is Damon Wayans Jr. Sorry. Fuck. Jessica Williams, hilarious, playing as Gabby. Of course, Harrison Ford. Yeah, I was right. Jason Segel playing Jimmy. Luke Tenney playing Sean. Yo, so he's also in the Pit, and he has an arc on the Pit right now, which is kind of crazy. It's so weird seeing, because this is the first time I've seen him acting was on Shrinking, and then now seeing him on the Pit, it's so weird because I'm like, this Sean. It's Sean that's always angry all the time. It's Sean that was angry beating up people, and then Michael Urie as Brian. Brian's fucking hilarious. Everybody has their part. Like, I'm telling you guys. Lakita Maxwell, Alice, she's really good too. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's really good. Liz, of course, Liz giving out the rocks and stuff. But Ted McGinley as Derek. Yo. So, just in case people don't know, Ted McGinley was on his Face from the A-Team. Is he? Hold on. Is he? No, not Face from. Yeah, he is Face from the A-Team. Is he No, he's not Marcy Darcy. I mean, he's not. No, he's not Darcy. Fuck, he was in something else. Sorry. But he's Face, for sure. He's definitely Face. Hold on. Where's it at? Wizard Wave? Really? Sorry. Oh, he's in Pearl Harbor too? Shit. Sorry, I'm trying to... Right, it is Face from A-Team. Blowing smoke. Hold on. Am I tripping? I thought he was Face. I guess he's not Face. Huh. Perhaps his best known role for the long running roles and hold on. No, that's definitely fucking Face. I know I'm not tripping. I guess I am tripping. Oh shit. Subsequently offered a role. Now I need to know who the fuck, because they look alike then. A-Team. No, sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, I gotta now I'm completely lost. Hold on. Hold on. I'm pretty sure he's not Face. It is somebody else. Dirk Benedict is Face. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's called the fuck up on my part. I've seen they look alike. If you go look at them, they look alike. I don't care. He's funny as shit though. Him playing Derek is funny. Hold on. It is Damon Wayans Jr., right? That's really why I came here. Sorry, y'all. No, y'all like, man, this dude, man, he's just, what is going on? Yo, so first of all, this show is nominated for 9 primetime Emmys with 12 wins and 62 nominations total. Deservingly fucking so. Told you guys, it's completely deservingly so. Hold on, I just want to say it's Damon Wayans. Charlie's kind of funny. Brett Goldstein, when he was on the show, is actually pretty good too. He did a really good. Yeah, Damon Wayans Jr. is Derek. Derek number 2. I'm mad they did that. But he's even great. Like even the last episode that they have, I'm glad that they made him into a part of the group because it was funny. Like they were doing this thing right here, and they were like, "Yo," he's like. he was like, what does that mean? He said, you got a flapping pussy. And he was like, oh, I'm going to stop this. He said, I did not know that. He said, I apologize, Sean. I did not know about this. It's just him being part of the group. Group dynamic is amazing. I love this show. I do. All 3 seasons have been hilarious. Jimmy is just a fuck up all the way around. Not fuck up. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that. I mean, the dude lost his wife. It kind of like, that's got to be heartbreaking. And then we also have an arc where he confronts the man that killed his wife, in a car accident. So, I'm going to say, I'm telling you guys, if you get a chance, please go watch Shrinking. It is on Apple TV Plus. You're going to enjoy it. I promise. That is a cruising fucking guarantee. If you're looking for a comedy, that's the one. You're welcome. How about that? That's all I'm going to tell you. You're welcome. Yeah. That's all I got for you. Like I said, you're gonna love Harrison Ford in this. You're gonna love Gabby. Gabby is wild. That's pretty much what Gabby is. Gabby's just a wild person. Jimmy is just aloof and doesn't. And you wouldn't think that he's a psychiatrist or a therapist. I'm sorry, he's a therapist, but he is for some reason. But he has more problems than his fucking patience. Just put it out there. Gabby sometimes too, but Gabby has this thing where she has to be needed. That's pretty much her job. And fucking Harrison Ford's character is just an asshole, but with love. Like his love language is being a dickhead. That's pretty much what it is. So, if you guys get a chance, definitely please go check out Shrinking. It is on Apple TV Plus. You're going to enjoy it. I know most of the time I was looking for people, but it's fucking hilarious. I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I gave you some of the arcs that they have, of course. So lastly, I got to see Birth of a Nation, the Nat Turner story. I would just like to say this. I went to school in Virginia where this happened, in Southampton County. Close enough to where it happened. I think I was pretty close. I would like to say we were not taught any of this shit in school. They didn't even call him a preacher in school. They really skipped every part. I'm going to say this. Nat Turner's rebellion, I know it was 2 days of his rebellion. It was only 2 days, but it sparked something in the ways for abolitionists to start stepping the fuck up, pretty much. And also there was also a negative, which there were harsher laws against slaves, or not just the harsher laws, but harsher treatment, all that shit. You have to understand, Nat Turner's raid killed 60 people. And I mean, I would say this though, in Virginia school books, it's literally half a page that I read, that I had when I was in school. It was literally half a page. They don't tell you the other shit. We didn't have Google either. Like, we didn't really have that Google to get to straight to, you know what I mean? This is 2000s, early 2000s. And, yeah, it's not fair that his story wasn't told. Understandable. He's seen as a villain, but also seen as a hero at the same time. I wouldn't know, like, it sounds stupid. I know that I'm about to say something real dumb right now, but it's okay. He's an anti-hero. He's a preacher that was pretty much going off of what he saw. I mean, what he has witnessed. You have to understand, man, these people are getting beaten and called out of their names for over 100, almost 200 years at this point. The point of the rebellion. They had to change their last name to their slave owner's last name. They really changed their whole identity. Their whole identity is gone from that African culture. It's practically gone. It's been beaten out of them. And to be treated like shit and being educated was being educated as a slave was a problem. First of all, that is one of the things that they did not want slaves to be able to do, was to read and write. Nat Turner was able to do both, but most of his reading came from the Bible because he became a preacher, which once again, they don't tell us a fuck about. They didn't tell us about in school. They told us in school, hey, this guy went on a raid cutting off the heads of slave owners while they were sleeping. And pretty much they really skimmed through this part. And I'm telling you, they told us that he cut their heads off. And then they tell us that he got caught and he was hung. That's literally what I was told in school. This whole movie is his story. The rest of the story that we weren't actually told. How he was an educated why he was a educated slave at a young age to start being able to preach to his people. And the one thing that he does get in trouble with is that he did baptize a white man. That's a problem. Back in those days, because how can this slave free someone's soul from sin in these waters? Like, how can this subhuman, because that's what they were. Sorry, that's what they were treated as. I'm sorry, that's what they were treated as. I don't want to sit here and I'm not trying to sit here and this is real. They were treated as subhuman. They weren't allowed to, he was doing something illegal anyway. He being able to read and write, that was illegal. That motherfucker died for knowing how to read. That's how bad it was. And his tipping point was when he finally gets whipped because he baptized someone. You know what I mean? His father killed. Apparently, what they tell us also is his father killed one of the a slave catcher, and his father was on the run. Never seen his father again. You know what I'm saying? He went and killed a lot of fucking slave owners. 60, not just slave owners. This is where it gets a little squirrely, I would say. But I mean, it gets a little, not even a little squirrely. It gets fucking squirrely. Okay, sorry, not just a little. I was trying to the man killed women and children. Not him, but his posse or his rebellion did. And to me, that is an 1800s Spartacus. He was going from plantation to plantation, killing slave owners, and pretty much building his army. That's literally what Spartacus did. Problem is, Spartacus did it for years. Nat Turner only did it for 2 days. But of course, there was guns. You know what I'm saying? Spartacus back in those days, where there was just hand-to-hand combat. Maybe they had arrows. I think they eventually the arrow was still there. But at the end of the day, these people had guns. And when they were trying to get to Jerusalem to get to the armament, they pretty much were stopped. They were stopped by people with guns. All they had were knives and pitchforks and shovel, all that shit. They only had hand-to-hand weapons at this point. And they really that was why they were trying to get to the armor. Like, I think if I remember correctly, this almost pretty much sparked like the John Brown raid. If you guys have never listened, never watched, never seen that, also, I feel like that should be a movie too. What John Brown did, holy mother goose. Fuck. I went to Harper's Ferry to go look at it, man, because I was just like, wow, this dude died in like this most beautiful fucking area that's in West Virginia. This shit is crazy. But watching this and seeing, potentially my ancestors being beaten and called out of their names and just treated like that, it bothers you. And that's why I can't watch these movies more than once. 12 Years a Slave, I think I've only watched that once. I can't watch it again. Fruitvale Station is definitely part of that list. There's one more too. It's just like, I just can't watch these. I can't, because I'll get angry. And then it just pisses me off. Like, I just wish that part of history never happened, but it did, and it needs to be taught about. It needs to be talked about, to me. And I'm not sitting here and trying to blame victim. I'm not trying to be the victim. I'm not playing victim. This is history. You know what I'm saying? This is what needs to be told. History needs to be told and needs to stay alive too. So, Birth of a Nation, definitely help that. It helps us get a little bit more of information of somebody that stood the fuck up. Yeah, I got tired. I just had that one bad day, one bad moment to sit there and say, all right, well, we gotta go to work. Gotta get some people out of here. And once again, I'm not condoning the killing of women and children, and also the slave owner. Well, I'm not saying that people deserve to die for that, but they would. It was a kill or be killed world at that point. I'm not. Once again, just in case people want to fucking say something. At that point, they were killing black women and children. They were killing black men. You know what I'm saying? And for running off because they were property. And so I'm not condoning any of this. None of this is being condoned. I'm just putting it out there. Just in case somebody trying to sit there, oh man, you said that they should have killed. Nope, I'm not saying that. We'll never say that. The children were innocent. But like I said, the children were innocent. They have no. Yo, the beginning of the movie shows you that the kids didn't know the difference. They were playing hide and seek with one of the slave owners' kids. He was white, and they were playing hide and seek. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason why Nat was able to go inside the house and start learning how to read is because he was hanging around the other kid. So that's where you start to get a thought. I mean, that's where my, like, the women and children shit pisses, kind of, it gives me pause, because I'm like, kids don't know the difference. Hate is taught. It's taught. It's not, and kids don't come out of the womb being like, I hate black people. No, that's not the case. But we don't, also, our kids don't come out be like, I hate white people. They made us slaves and things like that. They don't know that. All they know is, hey man, this kid's fun to be around. We're gonna go ahead and play some hide and seek and see what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? If he catches me, he catches me. Of course, he probably got caught a multitude of times because, athleticism. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. You put us out on the field. I'm sorry, not us. You put my ancestors out on the field, and they were able to get stronger because they were doing field shit and was learning how to run away and shit. So that's on you guys. That's how I feel about it. You made us athletic. Made them athletic. That's just, I keep saying us because it's black people, but I'm sorry. I know somebody's going to be like, oh my God, he said us. He hates white people. No, if you only knew. I don't. Woo, you dumb fuck. Okay, because I know I'm going to get that comment. I know the comment is coming. The only reason why I'm addressing what I'm saying now, I want to make sure it's clarified what the fuck I'm saying. What I'm clarifying and what I'm saying is, I do not agree with the murder of women and children. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not agreeing to any type of murder. So how about that? Let's just put a blanket on that. I'm not condoning any type of murder of anyone, black, white, other, doesn't matter. I don't condone it. I'm not okay with it. This man had a vision, and that's what happened. Now, was his people getting fucked up? Absolutely. Now, what happened afterwards? I'm sorry, just in case this is gonna be the last thing. Now, what happened afterwards is that there was a slew of just these overseers and slave owners that were scared shitless of slaves being murdered. Now, where they were, now the total number that I saw was between 100 and 200. Eye for an eye ain't shit. That was not an eye for an eye. Them motherfuckers said, we're going to try that rat. The problem is no, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into semantics. My thing is this, is that, yes, it happened. I wish that it didn't take violence to make this happen. I wish that for him being an intellectual, is that the word? Yeah, I think I said it. Intellectual. He can read and write. I wish he was able to go down the path of Frederick Douglass, where Frederick Douglass wrote the North Star. You know what I'm saying? He became learned. He became an author and publisher, and he had his own, like I said, had his own newspaper. And this guy, Nat Turner, went a different route. I wish that he was able to free his people, but he sparked the flame of more rebellions. And I think that's what scared the South. And so, like I said, this movie, I can't watch it again. I just can't. And also Nate Parker from Virginia, just putting it out there. He went to Great Bridge and graduated from Princess Anne High School. Fuck Princess Anne, first of all, and Great Bridge. Both the schools I went to were rivals of those high schools. Just putting it out. Just putting it out there. You just putting it out there. Just gonna put a little light on it. Ain't no light, no light to this, man. I just, it's a sucky. It's literally the biggest stain on American culture. It really is. It's the biggest stain of American culture that we have finally said that it was like the world is actually looking at it as an atrocity. They all agreed that it was an atrocity, that the North American that fucking trade route, that North Atlantic trade route. Oh fuck, I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh. I used to know this. There's a word for this. I just completely forgot. It was horrible. It was horrible. But I mean, I don't know if it would be better if I was in Africa or not. Who knows? I mean, my family was in Africa or not. Also, most of my family is Native American. So that's also another thing. So I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know how you don't know shit. You know, how would life be if that never happened? There was never slavery in America. You know, like, would black people be here? Probably. Would have figured it out. But it's sad, man. It's sad. It's a horrible time. And it needs to be talked about, though. It needs to continue to be remembered. It needs to continue to be, you know what I mean? It has to be studied, to me. I think there's no other thing I can say. So with that, I like to say, man, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to Cruising Podcast. So programming notes. We're going to be doing I'm going to have like kind of a nerd night, talking about the Darth Maul series, talking about the Invincible. Oh my fucking goodness. Invincible. What else is out right now? Daredevil. And there's one more. I'll remember later. Watch. The Boys. We have 4 major TV shows came out literally around the same fucking time, which I think was stupid as shit. But, you know, I wish I would have spaced it out a little bit. But Wednesday is a good day. Let's just be real. Wednesday's the best. So, that's where we're at right now. We're going to be talking about those when they premiere. After Wednesday, there's going to be another episode of me talking about these shows. So, stay tuned to that. But yeah, those are things I watched lately. So, some really depressing shit, and then one funny shit, kind of almost depressing also. But you got. I mean, it's just going to be a shit sandwich. That's all it really is. So, with that, I would like to say, I love you guys so much. Where you can find the Cruising Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, anywhere you can find podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates to the show. It's on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, on Twitter at Nightstown Finest. And the last thing I want to say, because I know people are probably going to listen to the part where, you know, I just want to make sure one more motherfucking time that I do not condone any type of murder. Period. End of story. But I would like to say thank you so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. I love you all. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.